And US naval ships and fighter planes are in the process of moving closer to Israel. This after US President Joe Biden have vowed to ramp up military support to his historic ally. Washington also pledging to send weapons and ammunition. Hamas in response accusing the US in the participation of the aggression against Palestinian people. Let's take a listen now to US President Joe Biden.
In this moment of tragedy, I want to say to them and to the world and to terrorists everywhere that the United States stands with Israel. We will not ever fail to have their back. We'll make sure that they have the help their citizens need and they can continue to defend themselves.
Joining me in the studio is Katavan Gorjestani, our International Affairs Editor. Katavan, Washington sending a very clear message there by sending those ships to the region, not to mention fighter jets, and offering ammunition and support to the Israelis.
Yes, the first message is to show support for Israel. And so we've seen this announcement confirmed by the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, saying that additional military assistance is already underway and should be arriving in Israel in the coming days. We don't really have any details on what that military assistance is exactly, but it is expected to be arms and ammunition. This comes on top, of course, of the already huge amount of military assistance that the U.S. sends to Israel every year, about $3.8 billion worth of military assistance. There's also, as you said, this change in force posture, as they call it, by the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Air Force in the Eastern Mediterranean. All those ships, aircraft carriers, destroyers, cruisers, moving towards the Eastern Mediterranean to be closer to Israel, as well as fighter jet squadrons also moving closer in the region. This is also a show of force by the Americans. Yes, it is to tell Israel we're standing geographically by your side, but they're also sending a message to other countries. The Secretary of Defense called it a bolstering of regional deterrence. And there was also a warning by President Joe Biden saying this is not a moment for any party hostile to Israel to exploit these attacks. He didn't name names. But we know who this was directed to, of course. This was directed to Iran, the longtime supporter of Hamas, but not just Iran. Also a message to Hezbollah in Lebanon and other groups in the region. The goal is to avoid escalation, but also to tell those groups, don't try to take advantage of the situation. We will be there.
And Katavan, a lot of media speculation this Monday about the extent of Iran's involvement in Saturday's attacks.
Yes, we heard actually from one Hamas spokesperson speaking to the BBC, Ghazi Hamad, who said that Iran did give support. He didn't go into the details of what that support was, but there was also reporting from the Wall Street Journal talking about senior Hamas officials saying that Iran did indeed not only help plan the attack, but also might have given the actual official green light to launched this attack at a meeting in Lebanon just last week. The Iran Revolutionary Guard also, according to that same report, really working closely with Hamas at least since the month of August to really plan all the steps of that attack. There was also a tweet by Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, just a few days before the attack saying the usurper regime, which is often a way to refer to Israel in Iran, is coming to an end. Now, so far, Iran has denied any direct involvement, but reiterated its support for Hamas, its congratulations for this attack to Hamas. The Americans also not wanting to confirm any direct involvement by the Iranians. So far, they're saying no evidence of direct involvement. But of course, there is a history of Iran supporting Hamas. So we are looking at it very closely. The other thing the Americans are pointing at is the political situation. Israel and Saudi Arabia in talks to normalize relations. The Americans are saying who benefits from the crime? It is Iran. Iran doesn't want to see that rapprochement.